Right, so welcome to my day trip to Parry Sound / war with Google navigation. Um, we're just going to jump right into it. So I planned this route out ahead of time. So I had pulled up the route. I planned it out in my on my desktop and sent it to my phone. And almost immediately, Google navigation just screwed the pooch and sent me. I don't know where the hell it was trying to send me. The general direction, I guess, but so you'll see right away. Um, this is me just driving through my part of Toronto here, but I get out onto the highway here, and the route I had planned out was to take the 401 down to the 412 and go north from there. But almost right away, I get on the highway, and Google's telling me get off the highway, get off the highway, get off the highway. I have no idea why, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And we hit this point here, things are going a bit slow. So I finally decided I listen. So I'm like, I get off here, and now I'm on Kennedy. And now I'm heading north on Kennedy. So I'm thinking at this point, I'm just going to give Google the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it was just trying to, help me avoid construction or something like that, and just rerouted me off the highway. But I'm heading north, and as I'm continuing north here, I just went past the 407. As I'm continuing north, I'm realizing this isn't telling me to turn right at any point. So this is when I first realized something's wrong with Google navigation. So I pull off here, and I'm sitting here, and I'm trying to figure out where to get where I'm going through the phone, and it's not working. It's being an asshole. And this isn't the first time I pull over. I pull over again right away because whatever fix I tried didn't work, and it still has me going up to Lake Simcoe. So finally, I just say fuck it, and I just make the first right. It's like I'm on like Major Mac or some shit, and I'm just like fuck it. I'm just gonna go east and let the auto nav just figure it out. So like right away, I'm fighting with this, and I already know this is gonna be an issue, but. I get on track, and I'm somewhere in like the north part of Pickering or some shit, up in the boonies, and I'm lost at this point. The whole point of this trip was supposed to be like a trip down memory lane. I don't recognize anything. I'm fucking lost. I'm fully at the mercy of the navigation. But whatever, let's just ride it out. And so this is just boring highway stuff at this point, but. I got the music blaring, and I'm just kind of enjoying the cruise, right? I'm not in a hurry to get there or anything, so it's just like I was a bit disappointed because there are things in this area I wanted to see that I hadn't seen in a while, and I wasn't going to get to. Here I'm flying through some town. I don't know which town it is, but here, finally coming up, I finally see something I recognize from taking this trip with my mom, and it's this old church here. You can see it on the right. It's a bit, it's seen better days. But finally, I see that, and I'm thinking, oh, finally, something I recognize. So now I know I'm on track. Everything's good. Or so I think. So now we're going through, I think it's called Brecon, which is one of those blink and you miss it towns. And this corner here, this has always been a weird corner. This one's for you, Mom, but this corner, they've made it worse somehow. They've actually put a roundabout, and then you go into the weird corner from there. This used to be just a straight intersection, but now they just added a roundabout at the bottom of it, and I thought it was hilarious. So we're coming up to the first time Google really fucked me over. So I'm following the navigation, and this is kind of familiar territory, but I get here. What the fuck was that? The Google just told me to turn right. And so I turned there, and almost right away, and I'm coming around this bumfuck road in the middle of nowhere. And right away I'm thinking, where the hell am I? This isn't any kind of this is a gravel road now. And I'm lost as shit. So now I'm following this like pool cleaner guy, and I think he's in the same boat I am. He's driving through this like logging town. Like where the hell am I? It turns out I'm in Cooper's Falls, and I have no idea why or how, but Google thought I wanted to see Cooper's Falls for some reason. I mean, the whole time I'm thinking to myself, I don't know where I am, where I'm going. I'm totally lost. This guy, I think, is lost as well. You'll see he pulls off at one point. He probably does what I should have done. It's just like, okay, let's pull up the map and figure out what the hell is going on here. And so I go around him, and I continue on my merry way. I'm fully at the mercy of Google at this point, and I just roll with it, basically. But going through here, this was actually ended up being my favorite part of the drive. This is some rally racing shit through here. It's it looks a lot more reasonable now, but driving it at the time, it was fun as hell. It's a lot of like tight turns and whatever. And you can see I'm whipping through here at about 90. I think it's a 60 zone. But I'm fully lost. I have no idea where I am. This is no longer a trip down memory lane. This is now a sightseeing journey. And yeah, I'm just fully at the mercy of the navigation. The original route I had planned had me coming into Gravenhurst from the south, but after that little glitch, I guess, from Google, where it made me turn right down that little chicane, it had me come into Gravenhurst from the northeast, which I've never done before, and I didn't even realize I was in Gravenhurst till I was actually basically in the middle of town, which we'll get to in a minute. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that little rally racing section there, but now we're actually getting closer to the town of Gravenhurst. But I had a little moment here where Ruby had to use her out loud voice, and which I thought was kind of funny. What are we doing? Can we go? Trying to do the friendliest beat possible. Alright, onward. She doesn't get to use her out loud voice very often, so... All right, coming up here, I had a choice to make because I was given some conflicting information from the real world and from the Google world. So we come up to the sign here. I'm not going to pause it, but try to take a look here. Stop sign. So up ahead there, you see there's a sign pointing to the left. It says Parry Sound to the left. On my navigation, it's actually saying turn right. And so I had a choice to make. I either listen to Google or the AI that they're trying to force down our throats, or I listen to the sign that's just sitting right in front of me. Obviously, I chose to listen to the sign, which I should have done from the very beginning. But then it tried to fuck me again. Now the navigation, I don't know, it was allergic to the highways or something, because now it's got me going through Amish country. I don't know how the fuck I ended up here. I don't know, man. Something in the code was saying, hey, you know, don't drive on 400 series highways. Because here I am now, I'm in some like backwoods bumfuck nowhere road again. And I'm pissed off. I'm like, like at this point, it's taken 4 hours to get here. This guy gave me a dirty look as I went by because I was out of town, but fuck him. And again, now I'm back on familiar road. I'm like, okay, good, back on track. But what the fuck, man? Google was just allergic to highways, and I don't know. At no point did I tell it to avoid highways. I even have proof of that later in the video. Four and a half hours later, finally arrive in Parry Sound. God damn, thanks, Google. As I'm rolling through town, I'm realizing, well, I'm seeing a lot of things that have changed for sure, but I think the one thing that surprised me is how little has changed. I mean, like I said, it's been over 30 years since I've been to this town, and honestly, not a lot is different. A lot of the businesses are different now and moved around. The turn I wanted to take, I actually missed. I wanted to go up by my mom's old work through there, but I missed it. Didn't realize until I was about here, actually. But everything's still the same. It's just different names on the buildings more than anything. But coming up through here, I've ridden through this road on my bike like 10,000 times. To the right here is the fitness trail. that will take you around the harbor, which I love. If you're brave enough, you can cross that bridge on foot. I don't think trains run along there. So coming up pretty quick, we'll be on Emily Street, where Mum and I lived with Shadow and Blue for a few years. It felt like we lived there a lot longer than we did. We were really only there for like 3 or 4 years, but pretty, important 3 or 4 years of my life. But yeah, this is the old street here. And this is where I finally get to stop and get out of the car. God damn. Oh, that was a tough ride. Okay. Well, this is Emily Street. I've made it. This whole area here used to be nothing but granite. Now it's this Harbor of Hope. I thought it was a convenience store on Google Maps, but no. Looks like we got some newer houses through here. There's old McFarland Lane. And of course, Mom, if you're watching this, you know exactly where I'm headed. So hopefully I don't look like a weirdo. But, I mean, talk about overgrown. This is where we used to live. Completely overgrown. Well, I think this is actually, yeah, this is the neighbors. There's the old granite boulder. Yeah, there it is. There's the old place. Obviously, they still haven't removed the big boulder. Wow, 13. So I don't think I might fly the drone, get some aerial shots here. But yeah, this is old 15 Emily, looking rough. Remember those stairs? Let's get a photo. There we go. I'll send that to you, Mom. But I tried to come in, well, it turns out I can't come in the old way where we used to turn and go down by the Friends, because they've got that whole street just ripped right the hell up. Let's get a shot of this. There we go. So I'll email those to you. There's the old Parry Sound Tower up there. I know I look like a full-on weirdo walking around doing a video. It's probably not something that happens very often around Parry Sound, but whatever. Well, that's the old place. There's Ruby. I'm gonna hop in and go to the next stop. All right, so picking up where we left off, it was over there. So this is the area where I used to walk Shadow. Doesn't look like I can go there. Well, the oil dock is falling apart. I can see that from here. Good photo of that. So yeah, they got danger keep out signs everywhere, so I don't think there's any going down there, and surprisingly heavy traffic through here. That's disappointing. I was really hoping to get down there. I guess I could always try and fly the drone, but I think it's probably not a good idea, unfortunately. Yeah, shut the fuck up, past Lisker. We're flying that drone. Wee, motherfucker. Yeah, I didn't drive 4.5 hours to not get aerial footage of my old neighborhood. The thing I like to see is that there's so many new houses and new structures around here. Like this park area here, that's all brand new. used to have one of those rusty old merry-go-round things that would leave you cut up and horribly mangled if you're ever to try and play on it. But everything's been upgraded. Even our old place, you can see from here, it's got that neon orange roof, which it didn't have before and sorely needed. So it's good to see that, because I, for some reason, thought Parry Sound would have completely fallen apart and just been overrun by meth addicts or something. But to come through this, basically, admittedly random neighborhood and see how much more built up it is now is really nice to see. After almost crashing into a hydro wire, we come in for a landing, and there's a cameo from yours truly, looking frumpy as hell, sitting on a park bench with VR goggles. Yeah, thumbs up and all that. Boy, do you feel weird doing this in public. I really should have a spotter when I come and do these things, but anyway, now we're moving on. Going off to the next stop, which I believe is going to be my old elementary school. So I think the last time I rolled through this town, I was probably about 13 years old. And so one thing I've noticed coming through here is that everything seems smaller. And I remember this hill, riding up this hill on my bike, it looks like nothing here through the car. But at the time, when I was 13 years old, that was a challenge getting up that hill. And it's the whole time I'm rolling through this town, I'm realizing, man, it's like miniature compared to how I remember it. And it's just funny how your memories can kind of distort the sizes of things. Everything seems so much more bigger and more important back then, and then to see it now later, you realize just how small it all really was. And it's a very weird experience. And I was wrong. The next stop wasn't actually my elementary school. It's actually going to be the Bobby Orr Community Center. More on that in a second. Here's the old Bobby Orr Community Center. Still called the Bobby Orr Community Center, which is good. Don't know if I can go in. I don't think I'm gonna, but they got electric car chargers here. Guess it's, Parry Sound is still up to date to some degree, or getting up to date, I should say. So now they're getting ready for the Psychic and Crystal Fair, obviously. But the main reason I came down here wasn't so much for this place. It's one of my old favorite stores, which unfortunately the times have finally caught up to it, and it was called Videoflix. And it was just up the street from here. And it's, well, spoiler alert, it's closed. It's not there anymore. Which, I mean, yeah, are you surprised? It's 2026. Who the fuck runs a video store in 2026? But it was one of my favorite stores. I remember coming here with Mom and begging her to rent Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis and games and all that stuff back when we were poor and couldn't afford it. That's gone now. The house is still here, the building's still here. There's no kind of business there. I guess that's fair. But yeah, this is where the place used to be. We got meth, not even once, hanging out there. But yeah, this was the old Videoflix. Not a thing anymore. Now it's just a house. Oh well. But anyway, here's this old corner. Sure, you can see it on Street View. But why look at something on Street View when you can drive 4 hours and see it for yourself? Black Squirrel. One thing I forgot about Parry Sound and about being up in the Great Canadian Shield in general is the goddamn horseflies. Holy shit. Like, pinging off my head right now. And it's like, I 100% forgot about those motherfuckers. Well, can't have a trip down memory lane and have it be all good memories, right? But
Yeah, Bobby Orr Community Center is where I played hockey for 3 years. In my 3-year career as a PB hockey player, I scored a grand total of 2 goals. I was the best. I mean, I still don't know why I'm not in the Hall of Fame, but whatever, it's politics. It's probably because I'm white. But that's this place. I'd love to be able to fly the drone here, but I mean, I probably could. I don't think anyone would really care. But I'm not gonna. There isn't really much I want to see around here anyway. So that's that.
Yeah, no, this time I did not fly the drone. Don't really need to. There isn't really much to see around here. I just wanted to see that old video store, and yeah, it's not there. But anyway, so now we're going to take a quick tour through downtown Parry Sound, which the locals actually refer to as Uptown Parry Sound. Just like everything else, it's the same but different. So now we're coming up to William Beatty Public School, which is where I went to school for junior high, so grade 7 and grade 8. Turns out it's not a school anymore. I wasn't prepared for that. I had no idea. I was coming up here thinking that school would be in session and I would just have to blow past it because I didn't want to be some like creep taking pictures of an elementary school from my car. So, but then I saw this parking lot and I was like, what the actual fuck? Because this parking lot used to be the schoolyard. This is where we'd play football and shit. And I at this point, I'm tripping balls right now. I'm driving through my old playground, basically. And yeah, so I had to do a lap just to kind of like, you know, get my head around it because it's just so weird. And figured, okay, well, fine. I'm just gonna find a place to park and let's check this place out.
All right. Well, I was worried about taking a video up at William Beatty. Oh shit! Do I got my keys? Uh-oh. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, like I said, I was worried about taking a video at William Beatty since it's a school and, you know, I think school is still in session. But this is William Beatty. Where I'm standing right now is a parking lot. This parking lot used to be my playground. I mean, this is a trip, man. Like this, where that blue car is parked over there, that's where my music class was. I remember hanging out there at recess in this area, playing kickball up through here where I'm standing now. This was like a football field kind of area, and we would play whatever sports playground games we'd play here. Holy shit, but they've completely... I don't even know if this is still a school. I'm kind of afraid to go in and ask. But anyway, this is William Beatty now. Christ. Yeah, weird. All right, onward and upward.
All right, drone time. So, you know, I spent enough time to ascertain that this isn't actually a school, so it's probably safe to photograph. So, fuck it. Let's fly the drone, get some aerial shots. Maybe we'll see some tennis balls or so. Well, Jesus Christ. Come on, man. Watch out for those branches. So, yeah, didn't see any tennis balls or whatever. But anyway, this is, I mean, obviously I'm only focused on this half of the school because this is the half that I actually spent time in. The other half, that's for the, you know, the K to 8 kids. I don't give a shit. But I can't get over it. It's such a trip to be parking my car where I used to play football with my friends. But I did look it up online, and it turns out it was about 10 years ago they closed down the school and turned it into affordable housing. So there's literally people living in where I had 8th grade and 7th grade, and that just boggles my mind. I can't imagine what that must, especially if you're a local, because I mean I did speak to some locals while I was there who did go to school here, and even they said the same thing. It's just weird, but it's cool though. I mean, affordable housing, why not? Keep those meth addicts off the street. So here, coming in for a very awkward landing. I still haven't got that skill perfected just yet, but anyway, onward, upward. Yep, thumbs up, buddy. Good flying. Just use the force, put it down, nice and gentle, and touchdown. Right on. So coming up here, we're heading up to the high school now, but to the left here, we're going to go up this hill. And I remember I had these rollerblades when I was young, and I was coming down this hill on these rollerblades, and I totally lost control. I couldn't stop. I didn't know what I was doing because I was still new. And when I got to the bottom of the hill, I had no choice. I had to wipe out. So I just wiped out hard. And at the time, I just happened to be behind the school bus, and I could hear all the kids on the bus started like just busting out laughing at me as I'm like in pain on the road. But I pulled over and I took the rollerblades off, and I never rollerbladed again from that moment.
All right, so this used to be a badass video game store. Now it's, well, that's what it is.
Yeah, that was a quick one. Just like I said, it was an old video game store. And this is where I jumped over to the Dairy Queen for a flamethrower for dinner. And yeah, my fat ass was looking forward to this more than anything. So now we're heading over to Parry Sound High, which was also fenced off and closed, which, I mean, that's 2 out of 3 of the schools in Parry Sound that were closed and not functional anymore, and I didn't know what was going on. I was really getting confused here. You see the fence going around the school, and I was like, what the fuck? So I pull in here, and I see construction, and then, there's new buildings going up over here, and I'm tripping out again a little bit. I'm like, well, how the fuck are these kids getting educated? And this is another thing. See, this area I'm driving through here was building at one point, and it felt weird being able to drive through here. So just like at William Beatty, I had to do a lap. This area here, this is the old bus loop where we all catch our school buses at the end of the day. But, color me confused. What the hell is going on in Parry Sound where all the schools are getting closed and whatever? And I didn't register it at the time, but this building here, that's the new high school that's going in. But it's still under construction. It's not done yet. So I figured at this point I needed to get gas in Ruby because, I had some dinner, so she deserves some dinner too. So I figured, okay, well, let me just jam on up to the last stop on the list, which is Parry Sound Mall. And we'll get gas in the car, and I figured I'll come back and I'll do a drone shot on the way back south. So I talked to the girl at the rest stop there, and she gave me the lowdown on what was going on with the school. And so apparently, the kids, they go to school in McDougal now. They're not even in Parry Sound. But here's Parry Sound Mall. I didn't stop or anything like that. I really just wanted to turn around and start heading south. But so apparently that was what was going on, and Parry Sound is consolidating all their schools into basically one big school. It's called Parry Sound Public School, that does K through 12, and that's why the disruption in all the schools and stuff. So I wasn't planning on doing a drone shot of Parry Sound High, but last minute, whoop, why not? Let's pull in, park, and let's take to the skies and check out my old school. I was only here for 9 and half of 10, but whatever. Here we go. Fucking wee, motherfucker. Why, flying. Yeah, here's Parry Sound High. I mean, it is what it is. It's a high school. It's a big school. It's one thing I remember a lot about it. It's a really big high school. But now it's basically been cut in half, if you can believe it, just looking at the size of this thing. But yeah, right there, that's the new school that's going in. I guess that's going to be Parry Sound Public School? I don't know. but there's a look at it, and you can see through here on the right there, that's where they cut the building in half, because there used to be a hall there that would connect to the west wing of the school. It's gone now. That whole wing is gone. And up through here is the, this is the bus loop. So, funny story, when I went to Parry Sound High, I was a local. We lived in Parry Sound proper. And so the problem with that was the buses only serviced, there's only like one bus to service both schools, and that bus would get the kids home from William Beatty before it would come up to Parry Sound. So what that meant was for those, hey buddy, thumbs up, good flying, 3 for 3, 10 out of 10, you're awesome. But anyway, so what that meant was for us taking the bus home from Parry Sound, we'd have to wait 20-30 minutes for the school bus to show up to pick us up and take us home, while everybody else that lived elsewhere outside the town, they'd just get on their bus and go. And it sucked because this was every single day, right? And that was kind of the catalyst that started me figuring, oh, you know what, fuck it, I might as well just walk home. So I started walking home from Parry Sound, and you see by now how far of a walk that would have been, because I literally walked across the whole town. And I did that every day, and that was a good half hour, 45 minutes of walking every day. And at that time, I was a chubby kid, so that exercise, like, I trimmed down quite a lot because of that. And it kind of planted that seed, because to this day, that's like my main form of exercise, is just walk for half an hour. And that's how I've managed to stay so trim and fit and not frumpy at all. Shut up. And what was funny is that the kids who did take the bus, they would watch for me, and they would see my progress, and they would always cheer for me. Like, the bus would go by, and they'd be like, yeah, let's go, And eventually got to the point where I would actually get home before the bus. And that was kind of like my goal, is to beat the bus home. And I finally did it. And that was just a fond memory that I'd kind of almost forgotten about, but not really. But anyway, so I decided to do one more stop. I needed to touch Georgian Bay while I was here. I can't come all the way north and not touch Georgian Bay. So that's where we're off to do now. From here on, I didn't take a lot of footage outside of dash cam stuff. I think it's just one quick shot of the bay, and that's about it. And but then we start moving south, and round 2 of my battle with Google. And yeah, it was a fun one. Yeah, that one was quick and dirty. Sorry about that. I'm not one of those nature photography kind of guys, but it looked kind of nice at the time. Figured, what the hell, take a quick video. But what happens here is hilarious, and yes, just watch this. What the fuck? How did we get on Marilyn Manson? Play my long drive playlist.
I am playing your long drive playlist on YouTube Music.
Thank you. What the fuck is this? Yeah, so that should have been my first indication that something wasn't quite right with Google. But coming up here, this is important. Set destination to home.
Okay, navigating to home.
So you notice there, I said set destination to home, not set destination to home and avoid highways. No. I just said, basically, fucking take me home. And I don't know, somewhere in the wiring, the AI hallucinated that I'd said avoid highways. Because my trip home ended up being a lot longer than it needed to be for no good reason. And I didn't realize it until it was far too late. But yeah, that incident with random Smash Mouth, when I don't have fucking Smash Mouth saved in any kind of playlist of any kind. I don't know where that came from. But that was the first warning that there was a ghost in the machine. But before heading south, I figured let's do one last stop, a place I wanted to see. We're going to slow it down here. So we're going to swing up this road here to where Mom used to work. It was a place called Friends of the Physically Handicapped. It's just called The Friends now. But you'll notice on the right here, that brick building, that's another school. That's the third school in Parry Sound. It's called Victory, I want to say. But you can't really see here in the video, but it's fenced off and closed too. So that's 3 out of 3. Like, the 3 schools in Parry Sound were closed, and it was just weird to see. That building is old. It was built in 1917. So it's like, it's 110 yees old at this point. But again, it's also closed. I don't know what they're going to do with it. I guess maybe affordable housing as well. But anyway, this is The Friends. It's now just called The Friends of Parry Sound. They took the physically handicapped out of the name. I guess not politically correct. But yeah, Mom worked here forever. I have a lot of good memories of this place. A lot of really cool residents that I spent time with when I was a kid. Like Donnie, and Donnie was my favorite, and Betty. Betty was this like 60-year-old woman who still believed that Santa Claus was real. Lived in homes like this her whole life. But this place, is a really nice place. But anyway, I didn't want to stick around here too long. It was starting to get late at this point. It was 5:30, and I was getting a bit anxious to start heading back to Toronto. So just a quick little turnaround and onward. So get ready, here we go, round 2 of my war with Google navigation. Yeah, this one was fun. Well, I mean, I don't really know how much of it you're going to see in the video, but yeah, good times. Coming up here, this person, yeah, red canoe, wasn't paying attention. I don't know what they were thinking, but yeah, here we are. We're on the highway. So this is the 400. So the 400 from Parry Sound, literally it's the 400. It goes all the way down to Lake Ontario. So really, to get home from Parry Sound, all I had to do was just get on this highway and go. But almost right away, you can see here, I pulled off the highway because the navigation almost right away was telling me, get off the highway, get off the highway, get off the highway. So I get off here. I figured, okay, maybe it's going to try to dipsy-doodle me over to catch the 404. But no, it just didn't want me on the highway. And I realized it. I'm like, fuck that. Turn around. Off I go. This is bullshit. I'm going to head, and then I make a mistake here. I get on the northbound highway, and I'm like, oh, you motherfucker. So now I'm whipping up north. Got to find another exit, turn around, come through here, gas station, almost hit that guy. And off I go, turn left, okay, for south. Okay, now we're heading south again. And at this point, I'm hot. I'm pissed. Because, again, and it's still doing it, like, get off the highway, get off the highway. Fuck you, I'm getting off the highway, and I turned off the navigation. And I should have just fucking left it that way, and I didn't. So this is now, I mean, this is super sped up at this point, but this, you can see the timer in the bottom there, it's just cranking along. Eventually I get bored and just, I don't know, I turn into a masochist, so I decide, what the hell, let's turn it back on again. I figure, I'm still thinking, give it the benefit of the doubt, it's just trying to get me over to the east side of the city to catch the 404 down, because I actually live much closer to the 404 than the 400. So after a while, I figure, okay, fine, let's do it. So I get out, now I'm off the highway again, and here we go. So I stop here, get a drink, hit the road, and I'm just whipping along here, and I'm slowly beginning to realize, oh fuck, what have I done? And I think at this point, this is now, 30, 40 minutes in, I'm like, I'm lost. I'm fully reliant on navigation. I'm just gonna have to ride it out. And now this is Barrie. Now I'm like taking a tour of Barrie. I'm like, how the fuck am I in Barrie? And I took it, I figured, you know what? I've been doing all these trips to my old stomping grounds and whatever. This is Ruby's old stomping grounds, because I bought Ruby used on Clutch, and I could tell by the vehicle facts history that she was actually in Barrie, and like whoever owned her before drove her around here. So I figured, okay, this is Ruby just showing me her old stomping ground. So she's like pointing out like where she used to stop to pick up food while she's door dashing and shit or something. I don't know, but like, At this point, I'm still pissed. I'm like, you fucking Google, what the hell is going on here? And I don't know where I am, and I could have just told it to like include forward, but I don't know. I was pissed off and committed. And yeah, so like just backcountry roads the whole way home. Not really anything interesting happens. Everything that's happening is happening internally with my, arguing with Google. But I do have recordings of me yelling at it. But here, I think, yeah, this is it. Now I'm in Newmarket. And you figure, okay, Newmarket, then I can just hop on the 404 from here, right? Because this is when I finally realized that, okay, it's not actually taking me to the 404. It's taking me home and avoiding highways. But when it navigates me to Newmarket, and it drops me into one part of Newmarket I don't recognize, because otherwise I could have just hopped on the 404 from there, because I know exactly how to get to it. But it just happened to put me in the one part of town that I don't know where I am. And I just keep following it. Now I'm in like Richmond Hill or something. And at this point, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Navigation. I'm just going to follow you home. I'm tired. I'm not fighting this war anymore. All right. So now we're getting back into the city. This is Esther Shiner. This is where my street that I live on. One of these buildings you see here is where I live. And that was it. That was my day trip to Parry Sound. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a fun little trip down memory lane. Hopefully we'll do that again. I almost killed that guy. But that's it. And I'm backing into my spot and calling it a night. But that was a great trip. I'm really glad I did it. Don't know where I'm gonna go next. Figure at some point actually I do want to get up to the lodge where I grew up and get some good drone footage there. So hopefully I'll get up there this summer. Until then, thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe, I guess. I don't know. This isn't how I make a living. I don't really care. Anyway, peace.